Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, tonight we're going to talk about a series of interviews I witnessed forever ago and what they can teach the president about inspiring faith in times like these. The guy I was working for was a recruiter for contracting companies, for consultant companies. Now, I know in movies, when you're talking about those guys, they're experts at everything. You know, in real life, they're really, really good at one thing and they're okay at everything else. He was in the process of recruiting somebody who was really good at finding stuff that was lost. That's what he was looking for. Got a whole bunch of applicants, and at this point, I'm a flunky. I'm calling and checking references and stuff like that. And we get down to two good, solid candidates. People, either one of them could fulfill the job. You know, they've got the required experience. They know what they're doing, and the references check out. He couldn't decide between the two of them, and he said he was worried because neither one of them had ever actually been the person to deal with the client. They'd always just been out in the field. Neither one of them had ever been held accountable. Now, I didn't exactly understand the significance of that, to be honest, at the time, but I understood that he was really, really good at what he did. So I didn't ask any questions. I was just going to wait and see. He brings them both in same day, puts one in each meeting room, goes in, reads them both on, tells them both about what's going on, and leaves them in the meeting room with a lot of information about what's happening. Then he walks out. And I'm like, what's going on? I was like, just giving him time to go through it. Like, okay. I was like, okay, so explain to me what the problem is. He's like, neither one of them have been accountable. Okay. Still doesn't tell me anything. So, gives him 45 minutes, an hour, or something like that. Walks back in, first room. So how long is this going to take you? 2 weeks, 3 tops. Cool. Leaves that room, goes into the other one. How long is it going to take you? I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue. He's like, days, weeks, months? What's this going to take? He's like, I don't know. It's like, assume I'm the client for a moment. What are you going to tell me? I'm going to tell you I'm going to do everything I can. That's the one he hired. One of the basic rules of crisis mitigation is to under-promise and over-deliver. If you promise the moon and don't come up with it, people lose faith very, very quickly because bad things are happening around them. If you have to go from 12 to 1,000 to 30,000 to 50,000 to 80,000 and still say you're doing a good job, people lose faith, rightfully so. Because if you don't understand the basic communications behind dealing with your client, and in this case, the president's client is the American people, if you don't understand the basic communication skills, what are the odds that you understand how to actually mitigate the problem? You're just guessing. Guesswork doesn't actually pan out when you're doing stuff like this. This is, I don't know what estimate, I don't know which number estimate this is, but it's going to be wrong too. It's going to be wrong too. And eventually, he'll get to the point where he's right, because he'll keep raising the number, and then he'll say he was right. Because he's approaching this as if it's a business. He's branding. He's wanting people to talk about what he said rather than making sure that it inspires faith, that it makes people feel more comfortable, makes people understand that they have a leader. He said that his move saved millions of lives, shutting down the airplanes. That is a branding move. That's something that's completely immeasurable. Nobody can prove that false, but he can say it. Most people know that's not true, but he can say it. The thing is, the branding doesn't help because the bags are still getting filled. You know, you've got one raising the estimate and the other saying that we need to forget about it. Well, more than 1,000 people today. It's not over. So his estimate, as far as the number lost, it's wrong, just like the last ones. His estimate, as far as when there will be a ready vaccine, it's probably wrong, because he's hoping to advertise, to get you talking about it, not understanding that there are no stocks here. People talking about it doesn't raise the value. The value of that office is not measured in how much people talk about it. It's measured in how much people believe what's coming out of it. That's the true value. And right now, very few people believe what he says because he has a really poor track record of being accurate. And he refuses to take responsibility or admit when he's wrong. But he wants to take the credit and claim that he's right. The U.S. needs real leadership. It is probably not going to be in the Oval Office for a very long time. That means it's up to you. It's up to us. It's up to all of the people who make up this country to lead it. Because the Senate, the House, the Oval Office, we don't have leaders there. We don't. None of them are showing leadership. They're showing that they want to command, that they want to rule. And that's fine, whatever. But that's not what gets people through crises. What gets people through tough situations is leadership, not being under somebody's command. If there's anything that the president can learn about this situation, it's to admit when he doesn't know something. And it's to understand that the American people would rather hear "I don't know" than a lie. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.